Hey, this is Michael. Welcome in. In this video, I'll go over FreshBooks versus Honeybook, the ultimate review complete tutorial. In fact, I'll be going in through the demo. You're going to want to stick with me until the very end of this video for that. Also, I'll be going over through the comparisons, the contrasts, pros and cons, alternatives, and so much more that by the time you're done watching this video, you'll finally know which accounting and or customer relationship management tool is best for your business, so that way you can become more hands-off in automating things and you can focus on the things that matter most, right? Whether that's the management side of things, the creative being in the marketing, the sales, whatever that is, you'll have more freedom to do that. Okay, now before I get started, I do come out with videos like this if this is the first time you're watching me. I have made other videos such as FreshBooks versus QuickBooks, the FreshBooks complete tutorial. I'll leave those videos down below as well as others, as well as I show people how to earn money online through specific vehicles. One of those being affiliate marketing that I do. I've done digital agency, course creation. I've done a bit of e-commerce as well as others. So if you don't want to miss a single video that I come out with, click on the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon so you get to see those videos in the future and you get all the help necessary to powering your business, because I know what it feels like. You know, I started in the health and wellness space and trying to figure out how to control things like the accounting side, project management. How do I handle taxes? That's one of the things that I wish I would have had early on. So I'll go through all that in my channel. Now, let's go ahead and get started here. What are they? FreshBooks, it's a web-based accounting solution that caters to small businesses. And it's similar to Honeybook, where it's going to be designed for small businesses. But with Honeybook, it's a cloud-based customer relationship management software, the CRM, right? So it's going to be more things like project management, more client and customer solution based. And just more, I think, more of a productivity standpoint, it's going to give you a lot more. So with FreshBooks, you can set up automated invoicing, online payment options, ACH and credit card solutions, and late payment reminders, so you can get paid 2 times faster. That's what we're talking about, being hands-off more. Boost your team productivity with precise time tracking and collaborative project tools, so every minute, file, and conversation is tracked and logged. Okay, so if you ever are thinking about what was it I had a conversation with, what did I send, what did I receive, what am I going to work on, you'll get that all tracked and it will be logged for your convenience. So you can also flip back to that statement or whatever that is you needed to look at. Okay, with Honeybooks, it helps you manage business processes from inquiry through to invoicing. Honeybook lets you also manage projects, book clients, sign contracts online, send invoices, and handle payments like FreshBooks there with the expenses and the invoicing, the accounting side of things. I'll be going into that in a moment. And also I want to make a point that in between a couple of these slides in just a moment, I'll also be showing you the back office of FreshBook and Honeybook, as I said earlier, that I'll be demoing some of these. So stick with me. It'll feel a little unorthodox as I'm flipping through a little bit, but it'll be for your own good, okay? So categories we'll be going through: invoicing, billing, inventory tracking, expense tracking, timekeeping, accounting, reporting, mileage, appointment scheduling, small business CRM, management software, customer relationship management. Best for, okay, I know you're curious about knowing this. This is one of the top questions you're asking me and of yourself. FreshBooks, it works best for service-based businesses, solopreneurs, freelancers, affiliates that need a way to track expenses and revenue for simple reports. Okay, it wasn't made for accountants. Maybe QuickBooks is, and even that isn't, but it's made for the small business owner, even if you don't know much about accounting, right? And that's something that I recommend you do learn about, because it'll come in handy for things like pitching, for just overall tracking sales, understanding your business, how it works from that point of view, and more of a foundation. These are things that I've had exposure to, whether I went to a university to learn that in economics, learn some of accounting, as well as I learned more of accounting on my own. These are things that I recommend you become more sharp in your toolbox for. Honeybooks works best for graphic designers, DJs, photographers, business coaches, web designers, consultants, florists, caterers, videographers, calligraphers, business coaches, health and wellness professionals, and more. And I wouldn't say FreshBooks doesn't do that, because it does as well. And I know I was asked not too long ago about, does FreshBooks work for my cooking business, or, does it cater to that? And yes, it does completely. It can track invoices, expenses, and so much more with this. So for example, FreshBooks tracks invoicing for small businesses and freelancers, where I accidentally left the QuickBooks side here. I kind of made some tweaks here, but where Honeybooks can work so much more for graphic designers and DJs and photographers, in the sense that it has project management solutions. So if you want to be able to bring on more of a team to help you with that, then you can do so as well. Okay. So for FreshBooks also includes customizable invoice design and a click-to-pay button for online invoices. The invoices, they pull data directly from the timekeeping feature that we'll see in a moment, as long as you mark your hours as billable. So the automations include recurring invoices and automatic invoicing of billable hours, as well as follow-up emails for your overdue payments. So in case that were to happen, you can track that. Okay, going back to the tracking and saving on that. So for Honeybook, it lets users manage projects, book clients, sign contracts online, and send invoices and handle payments just as much as FreshBooks does, but we're going to show you how that looks like, the differences in it. So going into the invoicing, FreshBooks makes creating professional looking invoices for your business ridiculously easy. With their invoice generator, it's simple to create and customize your invoice, add your logo, and personalize your thank you email. Your clients will be wowed by this, okay? So it can give you the customization, and I'll go into this in a moment with Honeybooks and what a little bit of a difference it gives you. So with FreshBooks sending reminders to securely charging your client's credit card, you can automate as much or as little as your business with FreshBooks. It also allows you to follow up with your clients, so you can focus your time on what matters most, right? Being more hands-off, like I said earlier. So you can go ahead and automate that process, securely charging your client's credit card over and over again with the touch of a button. And then you can just check it periodically, as I would recommend you go in there. That's what I do, as well as I use FreshBooks. I've used the two of them. I'm using a lot of FreshBooks these days. Not to say you can't integrate FreshBooks and Honeybook, because you can. That'd be something you can do if you want to use it for the project management side of things. So Honeybook, their invoice file includes a list of services, prices, and payments, a schedule, and allows your client to seamlessly make their payment online. You can do things like creating invoice templates, creating the project, customizing the file's header, adding a package template, or individual items, creating and editing the payment schedule, personalizing the email, and so much more. And that's the difference between the two. When I talk about templates, Honeybooks gives you more templates to customization with. That's what I've seen with the two of them, which is great, because that way you can go ahead and personalize your message to the person, and it'll look much more professional and more of a sense with personal and business branding. That'll come out more, I say, with Honeybook. That's what it allows you to do, to be able to personally and business brand yourself even better, which will go ahead and enhance your business's credibility. And you know that with that brand that you have will help you grow more in terms of sales, more of a relationship with people, build an audience, and attract more, and do so much more with it. So inventory tracking, there's not as much on the two of them when it comes to that. The expense tracking, FreshBooks mostly focuses on invoicing and payment collection, so you may have to purchase or connect to another accounting system anyway. That said, it does offer special expense features like receipt tracking, project time tracking, and sales tax management. Honeybook, on the other hand, while Honeybook helps you optimize your sales generation funnel, okay, you can easily input your expenses to get the full picture of both your profit and loss, right? Be able to track your profits and losses is very important, so you can maximize and optimize what you need to do, how to spend your money better, right? When you're spending your money, what to focus on more of, right? So you can make more gains. Honeybook is that they already have a list of 35 plus expense accounts to choose from, so it helps you to take the guesswork out of classifying your expenses. Additionally, if you have a one-time expense for a specific client, you can include the project name next to the expense for more insights into project expenses and overall profits. So now let me get out of this screen and show you the inside. So this is FreshBooks here. When you create an account, I believe I have the screen still opened up here, and we'll go over through the prices too. You'll be able to get set up for free on this trial. I believe it's still 7 days, if I'm correct, 7 or 14. But this will be what the dashboard looks like. It's very clean, as you can see on the left side here, from dashboard all the way down to my team, and you have projects, time tracking. We'll go to invoices in just a moment, clients right there. And this will be the dashboard. As you can see, it's a dummy account, as I said earlier, just to show you what it will look like when you go ahead and create an account. And you can get started for free. Again, I'll leave it down below in the description. You can go ahead and get that going. I'll also have more like videos for, if I have bonuses on that, I'll give you that. So you can get more running more easily. So this is the dashboard, the invoices right here. We click on that. You can attach multiple files to your invoices. You can now attach all that you want, including designs and timesheets directly to an invoice. This will help keep all invoice related documents organized in one place. You can always learn more about that, but we'll skip over that. So invoices like a pro, accept credit cards, send late payment reminders, and we'll kind of demo one here. It says new invoice at the top there, but I want to show you this. So it's going to have a little demo here. See everything you've owed at a glance. Create your first invoice. You see overdue, paid, viewed, and viewed. Again, invoice, all of them will be showing up there. So let's go ahead and demo this from me, and then you can do from me and then to me as well. And then I'll show you that right there. So from me, we'll create a new one. And there's so much you can do here. So we can see the amount due. It's 0 at the moment, but because we haven't still set anything billed to, we haven't added a client. So we can see the date of issue, due date, invoice number, the reference, the settings over here. If you want to accept online payments, you can turn that on or off. Customizable invoice style, make it recurring, bill your clients automatically. Going back to that, being more hands-off and automating the process is what allows you to do that with FreshBooks a lot. I see that a lot more automation set up here with FreshBooks as opposed to Honeybook. So the description, this is what it'll show you, just like any invoice, anything you're sending out to a client. You can set extra attachments if need be, but let's go ahead and do one here. Build to, add a client. Do something like that there. All right, we can set up all the details, but for time, just want to go through it. Add a line here, enter an item name. And then we can set the rate if we want to add taxes, the quantity right here. We can always change that 3, 2, and then the line total. We can do 350 there. And then you're going to see it automate right here, subtotal all the way down to request a deposit, add a payment schedule. And so we can always keep adding more lines if we wanted to. So if you're trying to bill somebody more, say, oh. So then we can add the whole subtotal will change to the amount due, 5350. And again, that'll depend on the description, how many items you have, the rate, the quantity, and then the line total will automate itself with that quantity in mind, and it'll give you the whole total there. And then from there, you can also make changes over here on the left side, on the right side here for customizing, make recurring and things like that. But it'll show you the amount here due for that person. You can also drag a logo here, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that. And then that is pretty much it. And then we can go ahead and save and then send to if we wanted to. Oh, we done, I didn't put the, that's right. For this part, because I was gonna kind of going through a little bit quickly here. Okay, so we have all this information. So you wanna make sure you put all the information in, and then we can save. Okay. All right, so we have that saved. We can also view it from right here, view invoice, or we can go to the invoice tab again and then view it from there, and it'll show you right there. It's created on January 27th, and there is no picture there again because we didn't go through that, but it shows you bill to who we're giving it to, date of issue, the due date. Remember to change that if you have a specific due date you want that by. I generally like to have that set earlier the better because it's like being punctual. And so the amount due, you'll see the description for them, the subtotal, the tax, and then the total amount there at the bottom. All payments for invoice, you'll see that at the bottom here when they've been paid. You can go through that. And then we have retainers here. Set terms and send invoice. Let's do it. All right, we can then send them the email that we're looking forward to. So let's see. That's for the retainer side, but we'll exit out of this here. And we'll go back to invoices. And we'll click on this one. More actions, send by email, right? We can do this by sending by email. We can duplicate that, so we can also add anything if we needed to, or just, if we see something that's similar, we can always add it to it. I like to duplicate things for that reason. Download them for PDF purposes, create shareable links. And if we wanted to send it by email here, we can type to. Okay, if we have saved contacts on here, we can just put that person's name. We can set the email up and then the subject, and then they will get this in their inbox. So let me see if I can. Do that there. See if this works. Okay, now let me check the email here just to show you. Okay, so here's the invoice that came in from the email we sent. You can customize the subject line again, so it can be more specific to the person you're trying to bill. And then here it is. They can go and view the invoice. We click there. Give this a second to load. Also, let me know in the comment section if this is your first time trying out either one of these, and what is it exactly you're looking for. Let me know more about that in the comment section below, so that way I can specifically help you and point you in the right direction, answer any questions you have about these two and others as well. Okay, so should have opened up the statement, but when you click that email, it should open up the statement for them, and you'll be able to see from there. But let's go ahead and exit out of here and then try out the Honeybooks one in here in just a moment. Return to the login page. Should there we go. Let's see. Then it just logged me out. So let's see here. Okay, we're back in now. But this is also what Honeybooks will look like. So let me show you this one before I go into the more expense side of things. So we have the homepage here. We can start by adding a profile photo. Again, I'm going to, through the sake of time, I'm going to skip over that. But underneath here, you can see the different projects you can add. On the left side, you can see on the right here, you got the calendar, the resources, bookkeeping, and then templates. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the template side, which we'll go over in a moment. But up here, we can also go through projects if we have any, the contacts that have been added for faster access. And then the tools, we can see everything here from templates down to refer and earn, the time tracker, tasks, everything underneath essentials, productivity, finance, and lead capture forms you can add here, Chrome extensions. Again, it is the CRM, right? It's not like FreshBooks, which is more just of an accounting. If you're just looking for more of an accounting, an all-in-one accounting solution more so, FreshBooks is more of your way for small business. If you're looking for some integrations in accounting with the CRM side of things, then something like Honeybooks can help you. I just like more of the automation stuff that I see from FreshBooks, and that's why I prefer them a lot more. So here we're going to go in and see our projects. I think I have already one created, or maybe not. Yeah, I had one right here created. But if we wanted to create a new one, or we can click on create your new project, which I'll walk you through. And then you can also add a participant in our Honeybook to share files and begin collaborating. That's what's also incorporated more so with Honeybooks, is that you can share more, participate more, and build more productivity with a team on that. But we can skip this for now. And so that's what we can add on here, and add project details, add a new note if necessary, project location, the address, the date there. Let's see, payments, go through payments here. No payments yet. So through the project, we can create an invoice. And that's what I wanted to show you in this, is that when you create your project, let's go back into the details. You'll get all this information, fill it in, and then you can also go in through the payments for that one project, create a new invoice. And the difference here with Honeybook is that you can select from a template. It gives you more options for customizing what it is you need, again, to your personal and business branding. So you can start with a blank invoice if needed, or if you already know what you want, standard, scheduled, or recurring, you can click from one of those. So let's say we wanted to just do a standard invoice, so we click on that. As you can see, similar to FreshBook, we kind of have the package name, but the other one was called more of a description. As we can go here, right? Invoices with FreshBook. We'll click on this one just to compare and contrast a little bit. So here we got the total, very standard, very easy to look at. Here we can do the same with the type of item that we want to name our package for this one project. Something like healthy living. And then we can also change the unit in item all the way down to month. The pricing on it, we can change it for this total. The tax, we can also go through that here if added, just like with FreshBook, if we wanted to include that. We could also, right, when we were creating that invoice earlier, if you saw, we were able to do that. And going through the editing here, you can also see how to do these things. Right? If you included the tax in it here, we can add the tax. Right? Enter a tax name, we can add the rate at which we want to do that at, 10%, tax number, enter a tax name, and then add that percentage attached to it. And like with Honeybook, you can do the same thing. We can check off that here, and I'll show you how we do that. And then we got the package item here. We can go ahead and name it underneath that category. pain relief cream, right? If we were doing arthritis, similar. Like I said, I worked in the space, in the health space, so. Okay, and then we can also change the quantity. We can do something like 2 units. What is it? And classify that. We can change the pricing on here to, I believe it was like $3.50 on the other one. And then include the tax on it. Okay. Oh, it's going to automatically add the tax to this. Okay. And so we see that difference from $3.50. I think it changed to 7 there. And then back stretcher, we can do the same, right? We can add the dollar. I know it's not $1, but you know, just put $10 in this one for this different one. And then add the tax included into that. If we needed it or not, we can take that off. Add name on the other item, use other items, use items for add-ons or to charge on itemized basis. So we can see the whole total there because this itself, this package was 1,000 included with the rest. That grand total will come out to 1,205. The tax percentage here is 8.75, but we can go through this here, right? We can change it to 3.75 if need be, or whatever that percentage is. However you're calculating it, percentage or dollar amounts, we can go through that and it applies there as you can see. And the payment schedule, if we look underneath here, we can go ahead and add another payment, but you can see the amount when. We can also do this upon receipt, customer date, select a fixed date, right? Kind of like with FreshBooks here, we went over the date that you want to be able to send that at up here, right? Date of issue and due date. And this is just a little bit different, and it's not clunky. It's just, I just prefer with FreshBooks, it just looks more organized and it just looks more professional because it is overall more of an accounting cloud-based solution as opposed to just with Honeybook, which is more CRM based. And so then we can add another payment if need be. Next, add recipient. We can also schedule recurring here as well. We can go through that, send a test. I'm going to skip through that in this video. But we can go and add a recipient, right? We can go through this information. We're going to kind of, for the sake of time here, I'm going to remove my address. I don't, want anybody sending me things. I'm trying to be mean, but please don't. And additional business info, we can add private notes if need be. And then we add it. And this is the difference between FreshBooks and Honeybook is it kind of already automates the process here to sending that email. So it's a quicker step I see with Honeybook. And it's not a big of a difference, but I just like this screen, how it just opens up much more easily so I can access it without pressing too many buttons. I know it's not a big deal. It doesn't bother me at all. It's just a personal preference. So then you can also send it and we'll see it in the email. Let's see. We won't send this one, but I tested it already long ago and I've used it before. So when you test it, sends it to your email, you can open it up and it'll show you the amount due. Let me see if this actually works. I might just actually even show you. Let's do that there. Okay, so now it's sent. Let's go back into our Gmail. When I meant our, I meant mine, but we're gonna look at this and see how it looks. Okay, so invoice here. Very simple, right? I didn't even change anything, but down here we can click on view invoice. And if you wanted to start your Honeybook free trial and get in on that too, as well, I'll leave that in the description below. As with FreshBooks, if you didn't hear me say that earlier, I'll leave that down below. But get started. Don't waste time, right? Trying to figure it all out. Get in there, try it out. come back to this video if you need to view more, but here it is, right? You can view the invoice. I think it's because I'm currently logged in to my own account. It won't show me, but it'll show the person that invoice, okay? So that was that part. Now, let me come back to the PowerPoint. Actually, no, let me come back into FreshBook here. Let me show you some of the other components. Okay, so here we see this. Let's go to FreshBook because I want to cover some of the categories also on the left-hand side, and that we didn't go through like expenses. And I'll get into the timekeeping right now in just a moment. But expenses here. Save time with expenses that organize themselves, track it, connect, rebill, and so forth. We can add a new expense from this screen here, but like invoices, it'll show you what to do. Just in case you were wondering, it walks you through these little step-by-steps, which I like with Honeybook. You don't really see that too much. I mean, with FreshBook, you get it right in front of you so you can see that. Okay, so add a category. We can do the same for doing something like advertising. We can click there. The date this was created, adding that merchant. We can add that merchant to that expense, or we can create a new one if need be. So we'll do, I'm just coming up with random names here. I don't want to go into depth, but I just want to show you how it all works together. Subtotal, add a description, blah, 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 right? We can do just something simple. And then we can track that from there. Subtotal. Oh, well, this is where you're going to drag the receipts image here or select the file that will then add on the expense to that. So that's why you're not seeing a subtotal. And you can also add the taxes there. Assign to client project, mark expense as billable or non-billable, recurring. This is how some of these look here. For recurring, we can go through the same process. Mark recurring, I think we just went through that. Currency, we can change the currency on that, USD. There's all these different options just in case you were from a different country, you were wondering. There's so many different ones you can go through. Okay. And also for receipts, I know this was a question that I had been asked some time ago, was can it scan receipts? Help with taxes as well? Yes, you can. You can do that with Honeybook, with their FreshBook. With their mobile app, you can go through the scanner there and track that with your receipts and be able to do that with taxes easily, be able to go through the FreshBook app and do that. Okay. So this will be that for that part of it. And then let's go back into the Honeybook. Thanks for sticking with me, by the way. I know it's probably a little boring. In case you were wondering, it's not always the most fun thing, but it's always great to know what you're doing. Okay. So the new client, we can always add a new one there. New project, I showed you that. New invoice, new meeting, right? We can add a meeting here. This is the thing that's the difference between Honeybook and FreshBooks. So we can add these meetings here. Type how it will take place, project to connect a project to a team, to a set of people. And that way you're more well prepared. When you show up to that meeting, you're going to know with full doubt what to talk about and make it shorter because we don't like spending a lot of time in meetings, right? If we can get to the point that we need to, we have an exit strategy to get out, we'll do it. Okay, so let me go back into the tools here. So expenses, we'll go into that in Honeybook. So you can track your expenses, create one right here. And we can go through everything from the date to the description to the category we're trying to use an expense for. There's so many different ones you can choose from. We'll go do something like graphic design, project name, graphics. Of course, you're going to be more specific. And then $30 there, and then it's been added automatically. So you can see there, you can download the CSV, add a new expense if needed. This is going to make everything easier for you with invoices and expenses. We got profits and loss here we can go through. And so far we've lost $30 because that's an expense, remember. But with invoices, we're sending to people so we can get our money, right? And that will change with profit and loss. Here you can have the QuickBooks integration, which is the difference between QuickBooks and FreshBooks. Really, you can integrate Honeybook more with QuickBooks if need be. You can click it really quickly right there. Payments and so forth. Tools, we went through that just a little bit, but now let me go back into the PowerPoint presentation. My screen was freezing for a moment. Thanks for sticking with me. So we have the expense tracking we already went through. Now let's go over to timekeeping here. So this here with Honeybook, you can keep track of the exact amount of time you're spending on each project. 90 seconds gets unaccounted for. Honeybook is talking on phone calls, travel and design time, and everything in between. Here's where the magic really goes down though. The time you track automatically fills out an invoice and you never miss a hot billable second. And that's an advantage with Honeybook, is that you get to track and automatically fills out that invoice. Okay, so you never miss anything, right? That's what's automating for you. So even if you don't bill by the hour, knowing how much time you're actually spending on projects allows you to make sure you're planning accordingly and charging what you're worth. Okay, estimations are great, but actuals are better. Tracking is made easy. You can ditch the spreadsheets and sticky notes that you've been using to track time. Now you can quickly pop in new time entries for your projects and never miss a minute. I'll go over that in a moment. So with FreshBooks here, it offers you built-in time tracking capabilities that are helpful for project and case-based businesses where employees track billable hours alongside other project expenses. So the dashboard and project views of these hours help you keep your entire project and individual employees on the right tasks always at the right time. So depending on the size of your team, you'll likely import this data into your accounting system once compiled. So you can tell the difference between the two of them, that you can automatically fill out an invoice with your time and you never miss a hot billable second. And with FreshBooks, it's really just tracking those billable hours alongside other project expenses. So it's more overall accounting based, as you can tell. And so the accounting here, FreshBooks doesn't provide accounting in the form of fully automated balance sheets and the like, but if you want to put in some work, you can enter your own data to fill out balance sheets. This can be time consuming. I know that for a fact because I've done it with my own businesses, depending on how many clients and projects you run at a given time. But if you want to make that hassle less free, then may have other integrations involved or other type of accounting software that'll help and it'll be best for you. So Honeybook's bookkeeping tool allows you to easily manage your individual Honeybook payments, business expenses, profit and loss, and more, helping you keep all the financial books simple and organized. As we kind of look through that, we'll go into that more in detail. Integrations. FreshBooks includes many integrations, but these target freelancers and small businesses. Connect your app through human resources and tax filing tools for small businesses to round out the payroll tax invoicing circle. So track payments from your Moodle course with an integration, or connect your FreshBooks to Zapier to process and organize actions and tons of other systems. I know I use Zapier a lot. That's overwhelmingly, okay? And it helps because you might be able to transfer something with Zapier that you couldn't just with FreshBooks alone, but you need to get it out to somebody. Or it needs to be added to, maybe you're using an email marketing tool, or you're using some type of a project management solution and you just want to integrate that. You can also go that route. Makes it super simple for you. Okay, so you can do things with PayPal, MailChimp, Zen Payroll, and Basecamp. Honeybooks, it integrates easily with Zoom, QuickBooks, Gmail, Calendly, Facebook, and Zapier connections. Zapier as well with FreshBooks does the same thing. Something that I love a lot about Honeybooks, you can schedule more things with the calendar side, right? It's more project based, so you can use things like Gmail, Calendly, even your iPhone, your Android, whatever that is, to be able to integrate that. okay? And that's an advantage there. Reporting. So the reports in FreshBooks puts all the data together to present you with a picture of your business's finances, both generic and specific. Reports are useful for tax reporting, as well as helping make your business related decisions based on your numbers and data, right? I'm a numbers guy myself, so I like to make sure the numbers are right. So you can also use reports to explore any data out of your accounts as needed. All of the reports available in FreshBooks can be easily saved or sent by email, like to your accountant if necessary. And you can also invite your accountant to view them with the steps there, okay? There's steps involved. That's on a different time. We can go through that if you need help with. I can send you extra documents to know how to do that. There are 3 options available in each report that you can go through. So Honeybook's reports page provides you with an overview of your leads, bookings, and financial analytics. So it also has reporting on that, but I think FreshBooks just has way more to offer when it comes to that. So FreshBooks, here's a little bit more. Reporting centers on profit margin, and their central dashboard shows you periodic input versus output. Because FreshBooks works best as an invoicing and time tracking tool, the reports focus on payment collection and a couple of tax-related reports. The software has filters to help you build more granular reports, and some of the reports are time-based to help you stay on top of your payments due, right? So it gives you everything you're looking for in an accounting software just for more small business. And it's not as like heavy as QuickBooks. It's smaller and it's not as robust, but it gives you everything you need just for small business purposes. And again, it works best for invoicing and time tracking, so you'll be able to get all that included. So the mileage, you can now track your mileage, categorize your business trips, and view your tax deduction all from your phone using mileage tracking. If it's for work, it's deductible. Making a sales call, driving to a client presentation, even visiting the post office to send a shipment to a customer can account toward your tax deduction. Honeybook, anytime you drive to meet a client, vendor, pick up supplies, track your mileage. In 2016, here's something. Every mile you drive can be expensed at 0.54 per mileage. Parking and tolls can also be expense tip. Use the Mile IQ app to easily track every single drive you make and then easily categorize as a business or personal drive. So you're tracking those miles, regardless of anything. And that's an advantage to have. And that's something you can get with Honeybook, okay? So appointment, client scheduling, you can automate your clients' bookings, cancellations, reminders, and payments with one click and zero frustration. After all, you're here to make money for yourself, right? Not make yourself go crazy. And that's where Acuity comes in with FreshBooks. You can use Acuity scheduling, like kind of as an integration, as an app with FreshBooks to be able to do that, okay? So whenever they'd like to schedule a meeting, book a session, or anything else that requires your time, all you need to do is send or share a session link to one or more session types you've created with which will reflect your real-time availability. You can even sync with your Google Calendar to make sure all availability is taken into account. Then your client can pick a time that works for them within the working hours you've defined with no danger of double booking and without the endless when you are free kind of messaging. I know you probably experienced that. I have back and forth, okay? So just some alternatives. FreshBooks alternatives are QuickBooks, NetSuite, Wave, Zoho, Books, Xero. Honeybook's alternatives, Keep, Monday, Bonsai, Bloom, Asana Studio, Ninja, Dubsado, and there's so much more out there, okay? So overall, FreshBooks is a cloud-based accounting solution, accepts multi-currency. The digital receipt app lets you snap a photo of your receipt with your phone, add a category to help your come tax time, and input crucial details like vendor, purpose of the expense, taxes, and the grand total. You can also mark the expenses as billable. This data then will be added to your expenses and synced with all your other devices, including your mobile devices and your desktop. This app also has plenty of other features like the ability to create and send invoices on the go, get updates on when clients view or pay invoices, and manage expenses. With Honeybooks, it's more of a CRM, all-in-one solution, right? Customer relationship management tool, software. with accounting and project management, and more included with more customer relationship integrations. It doesn't accept multi-currency, so that's another difference between the two of them. So if you're looking for that side, go with FreshBooks if you want more multi-currency. And that is that. So now let me go into more of a demo here. Let me stop share. Selecting the window. Okay, so now we're back here. We're gonna start off with FreshBooks. Hopefully it hasn't logged me out, but let's go ahead and cancel this. Okay, so we went through just about all of this from clients down to expenses, bills, and vendors. They have this right now, it's in beta at the moment, but you can do this with billing, right? We can add bills here, which is a luxury to have, right? We want to track our bills, and that's something that FreshBooks offers you more so over Honeybook, and there's more flexibility with this, and it has a similar dashboard as you can see here. We can add the line. There's already one of them. Actually not, we can click here, add the description and go through all this, add it for billing purposes so we can track everything, right? It's very, very robust in that sense where it just gives you an all-in-one solution. We can go through estimates, the time tracking right here, right? We can generate an invoice, we can go through a new entry, add a service that we're going through. It's not really a service, but we're going to go through that. There, add a project or client. Maybe you already have one added. You can create a new one. Add notes if necessary. 1 hour, 30 there. So then we can go ahead and do time tracking on this. So we know what we're tracking, right? We want to make sure we know that because it's very important. And then we can generate the invoice. If we have one here, we can choose a client and then add that time tracking on top of it, okay? And then we can do it by day, by week, or by month, and go from there. Honeybook, tools, time tracker, log your time. What did you work on? Some form of a client relationship maybe you're doing. How many hours were logged there? What was the hourly rate? Okay, subtotal there, $12. Select project. If we had one, we can also bring it up. Date completed, we can also set that to when it was completed. Save entry, and there it is added. We can always edit it. So similar to there, you have the look of it. Start the timer here with FreshBook. We can set that up with no client, add a client. We can also, let's see if we can do that here on Honeybook. We don't have so much of a timer here with Honeybook. That's the difference too. You get a timer built into FreshBook, which is an advantage to have if you want to use that tool. The settings here, tracking format. We can track entities by entries by duration, track them by start and end time as well. Click save. Okay. So now let's kind of go through some of the tools here with Honeybook. The templates, the essentials, kind of what I was going over. Here you can create a new one. And it depends on what you're doing. So you can do invoices, contracts, proposals, questionnaires, brochures. So if we were doing invoice, we'll click on that. And it'll bring us back to the screen. We kind of created some, as you can see there. And you have the template design here. We can change that. And we can work with this if need be, but we can always change them. And that's the difference between FreshBooks and Honeybooks is you get more customization features. So if we wanted to create a new one, we might create a contract, right? And then we can change the screen and look at that. And we can also go here and change and add to if need be. You have all changes saved. You can see that automates it right there. So you don't have to lose your work. Create new here, brochures. Just kind of showing you how this looks like. And then Full width, we can change it. Questions, right? Short text, we can add that. We can add another section. The content, excuse me. Services, we can add that service into this and add so much more if we need a brochure. So we can do reports, scheduling. There's so much with Honeybook I can go through on its own, but there's so much. Get in there and check it out if this is where you want to go. Reports, right? We can check the reports here for what we've created with invoices, expenses, and manage that. Get deeper insights, know what lead sources are performing well so you know what channels to concentrate on. Leads value, the conversion rate, times to be booked. And this can all be downloaded to a CSV file as well. Let's see. Scheduling, productivity. This is probably what you want to know most of, the scheduling and the productivity part, because that's where something like Honeybook separates itself with Freshbooks, which is more productivity-based solutions. And so session type, we can go through this. It can be video, maybe title of the session, video visit for what? For health, some kind of health reason. Video type, this could have been Zoom. Remember, we're talking about how we can integrate with Zoom easily. Sign in there, time, duration. When can this session be scheduled? Rolling window, we can change it if need be. How much time do you want? You want it to be 1 day, we can do that. Any instructions that will help invitees be prepared for this session, right? So if you were just doing this directly from Zoom, you could, but if you wanted to do this from Honeybook, you can send that out to them, and then for them to be ready, send that email when you want to send it, next availability, and then confirmation there. All right, cancel this, yes, discard. So tasks, we can add tasks, change my brand color, we can go through here. Some of these are already created so you can see how it looks. Add a task. Something like training, pick a due date, something like the 29th. Or we can just use one that's already been dropped down as a project and add it to that to create a new one. And then that was that. We can add those tasks in here so we are tracking what we have to do throughout the day. And it's not like it's going to be the biggest replace for like a Asana or a Monday, Keep, all these different Trello, all these different types, but it could integrate with that and you can use that in conjunction with it. So think about that, right? Don't just think about, well, I'm limited. Think about how I can use it to combine. And so we have time tracker, COVID-19 toolkit as the time that I'm making this, COVID. Template assets, resources, if you want to know more about that. It's a toolkit for that. Calendar here. All right, you can go through the calendar, anything that we have booked, right? We can set those dates. So look, we have a day for the payment right here. We can go through this and check it out and view the payment just in case we need to remember what that is or just go through it again. Meetings in different colors for those. Scheduling, what do we have scheduled? Create your first session. You can do that here, kind of like what we went through earlier. Cancel that. Let's go back. And then refer and earn automations. Quickly reply for new inquiries. We can set that. We can create a new automation for these. Request a testimonial, onboard new clients. We can do that inside of there, create a new one. What do we want to do? Send an email. One of these four we can click on. After activating workflow, we can kind of go through this approval actions, send email with this message, and so many things we can do. I mean, I can be spending so much more time on that, but for the purpose of this video, I don't want to do all that. And then payments, lead capture, contact forms, we can do this here. Full name, skip the tour, but you can go through that. Project dates, how did you hear about us? Tell us more. So you can create a contact form for people to fill out. So in case you're trying to get more, business, more subscribers, more clients, you can add that. And that's an awesome thing to do because it's not going to completely replace your email marketing, email automation software tool, but it's something that you can use in conjunction with it. So if you're using anything like email marketing, if you're curious about how to use emails to get more clients, I'll leave more information on that down below in the description so you can check that out. But this is pretty much it. You know, time tracking. I don't think I covered that too much here. Yeah, I did. But projects, my team. You can add your team here, invite the team to collaborate, all team members, add that there. And then projects, if you need to add some projects, kind of like with Honeybook, you can do that inside of Freshbook. Okay, so that's everything from this video. I know I could have gone into each and every single category much more in detail, but I could be here for hours. I don't want to be doing that. So hopefully you got some value out of this. We went through everything you needed to know about Honeybook and Freshbook, how Freshbook is more of an accounting cloud-based solution for small businesses. With Honeybook, it's more of a cloud-based solution for customer relationship management, CRM, productivity-based solutions with some accounting in there involved, not as integrated as I see with Freshbook. More customization with Honeybook, more productivity with Honeybook. I just think with Freshbook, it's much more organized, I see, much more less clunkier. With Honeybook, some of the pros here we'll go over. Keeps your crazy schedule organized. Integration with all systems was so much more smoother. Honeybook is easy to use and their clients appreciate it. The features are very straightforward. It is very user-friendly, beautifully designed. Cons, getting used to it at the beginning can feel odd, but it grows on you over time. They do updates a lot, which is great, but they can have bugs. Usually they work out these issues associated with new features quickly. With large brochures and projects with more messages, it can take some time for everything to load. There are some limited features in the mobile app, but neither has been significantly disruptive. Okay, now with FreshBooks here, what people are saying, the software, it's user-friendly and also looks really pretty and professional, and I agree with all these things that they're saying. Easy to use and inexpensive. The price is great. Absolutely love the ease of use and constant improvement. So it's really easy to use as opposed to Honeybook. It's just as easy, but has more things. So kind of have things all over. So cons, I wish the price was more cost efficient, but still an excellent product to buy. The interface is great, but nothing much outstanding. Doesn't have many extras. It would have been preferred if it had few more options for advanced users to help with more detailed accounting. Not fully free. Learning curve at first was a bit steep, but once learned, it became very easy. What people are saying, switching to it from one of these other software packages was one of the most liberating experiences of my career. So easy to add and remove third-party apps if and where they were needed. Plus, there were lots of options for third-party apps that I could plug in or switch out as needed. Agreed. Use it all the time. It's never once made me a cup of coffee. Con. I knew that sounds like a weird joke, but it's pretty much the only thing that they can do for me. Reasons for switching, made mistakes of adding some extra services onto my QuickBooks account. It took a matter of seconds to add them. When they weren't working out for me, getting them removed took numerous phone calls and hours of my time. So one thing with FreshBooks and Honeybooks is Honeybooks, I think, has greater customer support, but it's just as even, okay? So it's a great small business accounting program. Setup was a little daunting, but I was able to make it work. The price is great, worth paying for it. The program is going to get better. They always do, and I like affordable. Businesses are getting hit with more and more subscription services, and affordability is key, and they add up quickly. Anything I can do to lessen overhead is key to taking the money home versus spending it on software or applications. Okay, very intuitive software. Some people are saying the worst online invoicing system on the planet. That's very harsh because maybe this is somebody just trying to, up their other service. Okay, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. So the software is extremely easy to use, beautiful user interface, easy to operate and very professional, complete convenience. Okay. Barely passed high school math, and now I'm the bookkeeper. I love FreshBooks. We used QuickBooks up until I made the decision in January to say I was done struggling with their program. We had tried the desktop and online versions, and they both are so overwhelming with so much useless features. Okay, so now with Honeybook, the best client management resource goes beyond normal software. Before I used Honeybook, they tried different client management platforms. All of them were clunky, and often I'd have to hunt around for things in the interest of the app developer's attention to folders and organization. What a mess. I'm so glad they switched to HoneyBooks. Easy to use, how amendable the HP team is, updating the software. Cons, it's annoying that I can't delete the default emails that came with my account to replace them with my own workflow. Wow, just keeping everything in one place for my business and the way the HoneyBook automatically saves everything that I've been working on has been absolutely transformational. HoneyBook is 5 to 10 apps all in one. The customer support is great. Cons, time tracker does not function to the extent that I need it to. Unlike with FreshBooks, it does give more. I currently use Time Doctor to track my time, but what would be nice if I could keep everything in HoneyBook. And let's see here. Oftentimes I see my reminders not following up with tasks for clients for my project's pipeline. There's a way to have those notifications automatically sync with my personal Google Calendar and send me an email reminder. That would be helpful. Pipedriver CRM and Sales Pipeline does a really good job at showing urgent prospects to follow up with. So this is something that I had questions with, especially with other CRMs. The notifications part of it, kind of a downside. Absolutely amazing. Not user-friendly, difficult learning curve. Definitely a game changer, so forth, okay? So I think I covered everything. Let me double check just to make sure. Oh, the pricing. The simple plan here with HoneyBooks, you get to try it out for, I think it's 7 days free, I wanna say. Yeah, and then the goods you get, free account setup and training, concierge customer support, all HoneyBook features, your brand everywhere, customer workflow, payment processing, 3%, fraud protection, powerful money app, 60-day money back guarantee. You can go on the monthly plan for $40 a month or build annually at $400 for $34 a month, where you save $80. I think this will automatically log me in because I already have shown you the dummy account here. But yeah, you can get started with this trial in there. With FreshBooks here, you get also the monthly and the yearly lights. You get a free trial, get in there, try it out, and give it a go. Clicking there will give you the free trial. You can go through that step. It'll show you here. Cancel at any time. Gonna go through here, click on my account, I'll show you something. Yeah, but you can pick up a free trial. We're gonna kind of go outside of that because I don't want to spend too much time on that. But let's go through my profile. Just wanted to see something very quickly. But yeah, you can get a free trial with FreshBooks as well to get started on that and cancel at any time you want to. I think it's 7 days. But you can get in there for free and check it out and check out that trial for them. Okay, so that is in there. Let me see. FreshBooks pricing. So let's kind of go back through this here. So it gives you all these additions to it. So this is the other thing too with FreshBooks. I was going to get to the trial, but it's a 30-day trial with them, which is far greater than what you would get with HoneyBooks, which is I think still 7 days. Far greater. So you can see the accounting side of this and actually power it and be able to use it. But you get Light, Plus, Premium, and Select here, different plans. You can see there the pricing, the monthly here with the different features. I'll leave this down below so you can know more about this and compare with them. Okay. So you can see the differences in there. Frequently asked questions. Is it safe? Yes, it is. How long will FreshBooks be around? You're not going anywhere. How do clients limit works in the pricing? See all these questions there, but I won't spend too much time on that. If you want to check that out, look down below. I'll leave more information, but get started on your free trial. You could even check the two of them and see how they work and then come to a conclusion on what you think is best for you. All right, so that's everything from me in this video. Look down below in the description to get started with your free FreshBooks trial on me or your HoneyBook free trial. Check them out, get in there. It doesn't hurt to try. There's no risk involved. And, you know, at the end of the day, this is going to help power your business, your small business move forward, yours or somebody else's you're trying to handle, okay? So you can save yourself more time and freedom and also earn more money doing this. And it's going to really show for it, okay? So that's everything from this video. Look down below in the description. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the bell notification icon so you don't miss a future video I come out with. Okay, thank you. Bye.